Welcome back to the North American Challenger Series semifinals. Cloud9 Tempest and Team Coast are battling to reach the summer finals and a spot in the North American LCS next spring. Team Coast won a very, very interesting game one. They're up 1-0 in the best of 3. Well-deserved win, though.
Interesting. They had two Barons that were pretty much just, oh, the team backed. Rush the Baron, rush the Baron. Really good calls both times, though.
Yes, absolutely.
So C9T, they do look like a team that doesn't deserve to be in that 4th place spot. They came back with a strategy. The boot camp seems to be paying off, but the way that those last few minutes were executed by their part just were not what they needed. It just ended up being the whole game, 36 minutes in.
Yeah, honestly, if I were to characterize the strengths and weaknesses of the team, it felt like C9T did a very good job with their champ select. They did a very good job of abusing the lanes that they had advantages in, and they did that well. Their level 1 is significantly better. The first 7 minutes, they got a turret and an extra kill. Just better play, absolutely.
And Coast had to compensate for that all game long.
Right, and so what Coast had going their way was actually just better shot calling. They ended up being in the right place at the right time more often, even though you kept seeing these kills getting picked up. Right, you had the example of the Baron, you had the example of C9T not being there in time, but also you had Shrimp, who despite being on a team that was down 4 kills in a turret, was still up 1,400 gold over the enemy jungler by mid-game because he was hard farming Evelyn, taking the jungle camps away, and was just outplaying hard in the general jungle monster scenarios. And so that was very, very impressive that, even on the losing side of things, Shrimp still knew what he was doing. And the fact that he could counter jungle on losing lanes was very impressive.
I mean, he counter jungles on losing lanes, but then his lanes are getting ganked. So he's just taking farm, and then that actually hurts his lanes because Gragas can just go bottom when he sees him at Raptors. So
I mean, yes and no.
I understand it, but he was going an AP Evelyn build, so the counter jungling in the gold actually did work out and turn into a lot of damage in the team fights.
Right, and I think that was just overall very solid. I really did like how Shrimp played that game. I mean, yeah, okay, you can try to jungle your own camps and track Eve, but by and large, I'm going to say the odds play is you play like Shrimp did that game, and you crush in gold, and it worked out very well for him. I mean, prop to Hard. A Hard played super good. He got amazing ganks in. He completely crapped on Conquan. It was great to watch. He played super, super good. I can't say anything about that.
0-5, and there were 9 kills.
Yeah.
For that
team. He got super wrecked by amazing Gragas ultis. There's a lot of props to give to a lot of players in this game, and a lot of people did their role properly. But by the end of it all, it came down to Coast making better choices, C9T being late to the objectives, and Coast gritted their teeth and got what they needed. So, into picks and bans, game 2 is afoot. Nidalee, Elise still banned away. Coast do not want to let these champions play.
It looks like Braum and Sivir being banned away from Coast.
So, I don't understand people think Braum is the best support now. I don't know what happened that made this happen, but over the last week and a half, teams were practicing, and Braum bubbled up as the S-tier support. Seems to be
good against poke, really good skirmish power.
Yeah, and so he's the thing now. But what's weird is C9T banned the Sivir away. That forced a Team Coast first pick. I would have liked to see them just ban Kalista and threaten Sivir, and then have a really top-tier champion that Lod can use to go win a team fight.
Possibly get the Alistar, but looks like they're going to go with the Gragas for Hard. He did have a good performance on that champion. That was a good takeaway there for C9T.
But the problem is, I don't know why you rush pick that. That's not a first pick champion.
It's not what Shrimp's going to take.
It got picked second round red side. 5 champs were picked before Gragas, and in game 2 you're like, yeah, first pick that. Dude, the Evelyn wasn't a big deal.
Man.
What?
That's why we don't get Olaf this time.
Right.
Yeah, Chris is now going to see what he can do up against Solo in the top lane as Olaf. He was feeling the pressure last time. Now he's saying it's his turn to apply it.
All right, well, the victor was gone. Azir was what Peek and Wolf played the first time around. This time, both on the table, and he wants the victor with every single mid laner available. So you're seeing what the Peek and Wolf tier list ends up being here in this game, and maybe it'll be very strong for him up against Yasui. Cloud9 Tempest to make their choices now. They've got some time to decide what they want to go for. Every AD carry not named Sivir is up, and they go for Tristana here, interestingly, on Lod. So that top tier skated over. Gnar, once again, the counter pick towards the Olaf. Chris held up-ish. He was down 10 to 30 CS the entire time, but they still managed to win the game. Now the reverse.
Swapping top laners, but the Tristana makes it so that picking Kalista is a little bit of a gambit.
Yeah.
Because you get turrets very quickly, you'll get them in a lane swap, you'll get them normally as well, and just shove the lane very quickly, because she doesn't have wave clear. She can't stop a Tristana from shoving the wave up until she gets Runaan's Hurricane.
Yep.
So Tristana actually just kind of flat out wins that and just points and clicks on you and does all her damage. So
yeah, I mean,
this dissuades the Kalista pick for MASH.
Sure. And yeah, it's definitely a good matchup, and it's definitely a champion that many teams are happy to play with. So Tristana here, the rush pick. Of course, they can counter pick mid whenever they want. They know it's going to be Victor up in the mid side. And they got some time to choose their support as well. Now Team Coast go in and grab theirs. They are again going for the Janna themselves. They think this is the best champion for them to play here. Conquan playing the disengaged champion. They've got some more long range, the Victor and the Corki. Definitely a good burst combo as well, with Chris to be the meat in the front line so far.
So at this point, you really need Chris not just to be the meat in the front line, but to be able to beat Solo in the top lane. Because Olaf plus Janna isn't really a good synergy. You do kind of want 4 men as a unit, have the Corki poke, have the Victor clear waves, and if they engage on you, you disengage, use the Victor W.
Yeah.
And
Olaf
meanwhile, Olaf is split pushing.
Right.
So if he is able to split push, this team composition really means a lot. And I actually like the Evelyn pick here because it can assist the split push.
Exactly. I love Evelyn in teams that are built around split pushing. She's such a good ganker. You can't really track her properly. If she ever recalls back to buy, you can no longer track her based off the camps, and that's the time when you go for the ganks. You guarantee you're not seen coming out there. This could be really big. Shrimp getting the Evelyn yet again. And again, I just ask why Hard would bother to first pick Gragas here.
Well, I'm also very surprised that no Rek'Sai for Shrimp, so it seems like Rek'Sai has fallen down his tier list. Evelyn, this is 5-14. Evelyn did take that nerf, I believe.
Yeah, she took the nerf to her Q, and to be fair, Rek'Sai got a nerf to his W, her W.
But Runeglaive is better.
Yep.
So Evelyn's better.
I mean, I'm on the Evelyn
item
hype train
changes,
myself.
so Evelyn is actually really scary. But we'll talk about the last 2 picks that Cloud9 Tempest locked in. It was Orianna and Sheep got Thresh.
Oh, yeah.
So he's going back to Thresh. Thresh actually won all 3 games yesterday between Vermilion and Baby.
Yep.
So now we're seeing the challenger Thresh mains come back in their time of need. See if he can make some hero plays, because I think the Thresh made a hero play every single game yesterday.
I think it definitely did. So this could be a really good game for Sheep to keep Cloud9 Tempest in the running. But guys at home, to keep up on all the playoff action, log on to lolesports.com.
Under the Leagues and Tournaments tab, you'll find scores, schedules, box scores, a spoiler-free VOD hub, and everything else you need to follow Challenger Series and the LCS All Playoffs long.
And getting ourselves now into Game 2. Coast are a single game away from getting into the playoff finals up against Renegades, a team they've already beaten twice in the regular season. They are 10-2 so far in the summer split here. Definitely a strong team looking to make their way back into the LCS. Cloud9 Tempest, though, they've got to get their way back in.
It's true. They need to win this game, make it 1-1.
Yeah.
And then come back from there. And, oh, man, Coast are looking for, which would be, I think, their second or third.
This is their third trip back in. They qualified in 2013.
Yeah, oh.
They re-qualified in spring of 2015. They could re-qualify in spring of 2016.
It would also be
these guys.
I think this is MASH's 3rd or 4th Challenger playoffs.
MASH has been on Coast for about a cumulative of like 4 years. If you count like all the incarnations and like back in the day, like the old version of the team, like he's been like with this roster, not always consecutively, but for such a long time. And honestly, a fair number of LCS experienced players on Coast. Of course, a couple of rookies as well. C9T, really only Sheep had that stage experience. And trying to do what they can. I mean, they brought Coast so close. Oh.
Lod got some. Lod got some experience.
He played on stage, but yeah, not in the LCS itself.
Well, he played on the London Roadshow.
Yeah.
So arguably a bigger stage than the LCS stage.
True. I don't know, man. Any greater than EU? Does it really count?
It's a big stadium. It actually is greater than the LCS stage.
I know, to be fair, though, Britain is not part of the European Union. They're just part of Europe. So, I mean, you know, they're using pounds. Does it really count?
So, wait, when we're saying NA...
We're saying North America.
And we're saying EU. We're saying European Union?
No,
okay.
we're probably not.
I was like, that is not what we've been going for.
I know, I'm messing. All right. Although, to be fair, we consider Mexico part of Latin America, though it's part of the continent of North America, right? So, like, as far as sort of jurisdictions and server breakdowns, there's inconsistencies everywhere. What are you doing, Riot?
Oh, man.
All right, double jungle starts for pretty much everywhere on the map. I like this for both sides. Do the double jungle with the AD carry support. That's the smart thing to do. Double jungle, jungler plus the top laner, take the camps out. So mirrored starts here. We'll see how it pans out.
And now 2-on-2.
No, they're not. No.
2-on-2 in the bot lane. See what happens here between these two, because Sheep, if he can land some hooks, they definitely get an advantage there. But if Mash is able to land some phosphorus bombs and he's able to actually take it to Lod and clear the wave and keep it neutral, because he has the Janna, he's able to trade better. And they got the level 2, so they are going to get a decent chunk of damage on Sheep. He'll heal it up, but still, now they have priority in this lane for a little bit.
Now, Chris was earlier to lane. Olaf is such a freaking fast jungler that he had a good, like, 15-second lead getting up there. I think it manifested in a couple of extra minions worth of XP. We'll have to see. It's a bit hard to track, but Coast. Ooh, nice hook. Sheep, 1-for-1 so far. And Lod, wow, so smart. Walked forward to dodge the Q. That would have been a really big deal. 100 damage missed out there by the nice dodge of Lod's Tristana here.
And they get the potion out of him too. That's big. Now Lod just gets to sit on his. He doesn't have to use his just yet. He'll lifesteal up a little bit. But the hooks I was talking about, if he can get him onto Mash, ideal target to throw it onto Mash. If it lands, you're going to be able to win these trades. And now that Lod, he's a little bit down in CS, but over time, you'll see if he starts continuing to shove him out of the lane, then he'll start to equalize those numbers over time.
And I do really think Thresh into Janna is a great matchup. Any aggressive melee support, I feel like, is always very good into Janna. She can't heal any of the damage lost, and she can't poke the Thresh away to prevent him from going for, like, walk-up flay plays and stuff like that. So they did happily blind pick the Janna matchup. Of course, Coast want the champion for mostly the team fight phase, but her lane definitely can be punished. I do expect the CS to go back in C9T's favor at a certain point in time. But for now, Coast sitting on a small lead. Players warding around the tri-brush on the top side, and minions actually have panned out to be roughly equal up here.
Shrimp already backed, has his smite and his wards ready to go, and Hard just looks like he's going for effective actions before backing. Looks like he's going to sneak into this brush, try to go for a gank in the top lane.
Now they can try to abuse, but Chris knows better to walk in farther than that. He actually, he spotted? Wow.
Pretty sure he saw him.
That's close. Well, there's the on-the-way ping. Shrimp says, all right, you know what, bait it out. Pretend you didn't see him. Go for one more trade on a solo. I'll be here. He's got Chilling Smite. Here's the play. There's a jump on in. Chris already burns the ghost. He's walking backwards. The hop in on top, and there's a flash out. Shrimp's going to take this kill down. There's almost no chance for Solo to get away. There's the kill picked up. He's got a blue buff still, and Hard has to flash the wall to get out.
They got so much for that. And like you said,
beautiful.
Pretend you didn't see him.
That was beautiful.
Because as a jungler, you sit in the brush, and you think, did he see me? I
don't onto Evelyn. Oh, God.
And
that was so good. Oh, wow. I love good plays like that. That was perfectly baited by Coast, and unlike last game, the early game is working out for these guys, but here's the play. They really want to knock some damage on a Mash, and look at that. They trade right away onto Lod, but the explosive charge, of course, will trade back reasonably well. You can see Coast very smart, though. They know their lane mechanics. You have to switch and immediately go for the Trist, not the Thresh. He's got too many potions, too much sustain, too much durability, and they smartly switch targets and go okay in that trade.
And that's what this lane is going to be all about. But you can see Lod, he's only about 4 CS, 3 CS down now. And they're starting to get lane priority back off of these hooks.
It's going to be the recall timing now for these guys. Pickaxe money easily. Sheen or Phage money is here from Nash. Lod needs another wave or 2 for BF Sword, and he'll get the first one easily without Corki interfering. But potentially Coast can really muck up the recall of Lod, especially if Shrimp shows up in the bot lane. They can prevent the BF Sword recall from going off cleanly. It's a really minor point, but really, really good teams can do this.
Looks like it's Phage instead of Sheen first.
Yeah. That's fine. I think actually, it's really up to the player.
Yeah.
It's easier to last hit with Phage, but I really like the Sheen Q auto attack.
For trading.
Yeah.
He doesn't have level 6 yet, so I can understand it.
Yeah.
Because when you have 6, that's when you're really getting the most bang for your buck out of your Sheen.
All right. Well, Lod not allowed to buy potions because of his choice of recall. He lasted the wave enough. That ambient gold let him just barely squeak in a BF Sword, but this is interesting. Coast hard shoving the wave. They realize that Trist is already back. That means they're going to look for what could have been an attempt on Dragon. They would have known Trist would have to last under a turret. But with Thresh and Gragas running to the side of the map, Cloud9 Tempest will stymie that, and there will not be a Dragon attempt available to Coast.
Hard, looking for the wraparound here, but he's not going to get it though. Ward, I think, did spot out Sheep as well, so Pekin Wolf is just playing to the left side of his lane.
Yeah, and Hard's counter jungling turns into nothing. He warded camps that were already picked up, though keep in mind the blue buff is spawning in about a minute and a half, and they can try to counter jungle that. Once they actually, they should have already known that Shrimp did that 1 second because he had a blue buff and not a red when he ganked the top lane.
Speaking of counter jungling though, Shrimp looks like he's going to go into the jungle now on the top side. They have pink wards just littering the top side. He knows he wasn't spotted, and he saw the blue buff is up. But Hard is on his way over there. Hard actually stops for the Wolves.
This is an interesting one. Mid lane though still under fire. Yusui getting pushed into his turret. He can't help with the blue without giving up a lot of CS on the way over. There was already a ward down, so Hard got spotted on his way. Looks like it is his wolf camp. And Shrimp, invisible, does not get revealed by that, of course, and will steal away the camp. The spirits around, but Shrimp feels pretty safe about this one. Smites up for both sides, and he's already got Chris in there as well. It's a 2-on-1. This can't be stopped. Nicely played by Coast. Again, the top jungle synergy now really paying off here. Yep, I still blue.
The level 6, Hard, no mana, not able to continue that fight. Really well played there, Shrimp, man. This is the type of bully that he is. When he has that tiny advantage, whether it's mana up or the fact that he's able to steal the
and a winning laner.
There you go. He's able to push them out. And Chris, there was communication there. Shove your wave out, come down here.
Yep.
And because they have all those pink wards around, you don't always know if Shrimp is just sitting in the brush or if he actually went to the lane.
So smart stuff here. Coast looking the way they typically actually did in the Challenger Series, right? 1,400 gold lead at 8.5 minutes in. This is what Coast typically looks like in Challenger. All credit to Hard for making it not look that way in Game 1, but this is honestly business as usual in this game, realistically.
Now with the matchups, too, that they have, because Mash is no longer in a losing matchup with Sivir versus Kalista.
Yep.
He's got a matchup where he can actually have bully potential himself with the Janna alongside him. Shrimp is still just being a counter jungle monster, just preying on his enemy.
Yep.
And then Chris now has a matchup where he will eventually have solo kill potential.
Yeah, I think he wants the completed Black Cleaver before that happens. The movement speed is actually a really big deal on that one. And now we're at the point where Janna's shield actually blocks enough damage, and it's just not really easy anymore for Lod in this matchup. Lod was ahead, but let's take a recall. For without potions, it's really hard for Lod to stay in this lane. He's going to back for pickaxe and 2 to 3 pots here and try to survive. But 1,400 gold lead, and less than half that is the first blood. This is just Coast really walking over almost all these matchups. Peek and Wolf equal to Yusui. Honestly, going less Yusui sided than I think we expected in the pregame here, but off the forced recall, they go for the dragon. Lod cannot participate, neither can Sheep. Clean, secure, first dragon for Coast here. Not even a problem.
Oh. Hard looking towards mid lane, though. Oh, he came around the wards.
Nice, everything right there, and a lot of burst. Beautiful gank comes through. Sheep gets an assist by throwing the lantern on the Hard, steals some gold away from him, but I think it's actually the right choice for him. So a nice gank. Hard trying to get his team back in here. Makes a good play.
Hard, he was all about that early game last game, and we haven't really seen too much of him this game. He tried to make that play top, didn't work out. He lost his flash, and now that his flash is back, he's looking for the one in the mid, and he got it. And before, they weren't really picking on Peek and Wolf. They said, you know, this is the guy that's not going to... He's not going to be able to carry.
He's going to try to do this.
He's going to do it. He did it before.
I don't know why he W'd, but he's doing a lot of damage here. Yusui will ult, then flash out, and Shrimp wants the chase. Shrimp's going to die for that one.
What a man!
Loses red buff, and he does not give away experience for that kill. I don't believe Hard was in range, so, I mean, pretty cool. It's going to give his mid laner time to now pressure the mid lane.
Oh, man.
All right.
I believe he's done that play before
yeah.
on Evelynn.
Sometimes it fails, but this one was good.
And Rush did it before as well on Evelynn. He just sits around, you wait for the recall, you give them that false sense of security, and then boom.
All right. Well, bot lane, though, still okay for Cloud9 Tempest. Right? 95 to about 95 in CS. That duo lane is okay. They've been trading blows, but not really kills back and forth. 2-2 in kills, all things considered. C9T have actually closed this gap quite successfully off of some very nice plays by Hard and then, reasonable execution by Yusui defending himself. We're back to a pretty close game here, so definitely a close battle afoot. Shrimp may be going for Riley's yet again here. This might be pretty likely for him.
Oh, that was nice.
Blue buff.
He was standing right in leash range and just kept walking back and forth as he was queuing, so he didn't really take any damage from that camp.
Hard loses his buff. Towards the wall, does not spot Shrimp with it, though. He was already stealth. They know that Shrimp was right side of the map, but now him crossing left side, it will be a bit of an unknown for C9T. I typically don't expect Evelynn to go trade blue into a...
Is Hard still going to try to force this? Hard is going to try to force this. Going again.
A beautiful explosive cast. Pico flashes right away. They look for Yasui, who's got no flash. This could be the kill picked up, but there's only so much damage they can do. Yasui runs out of range. The Chaos
Here comes
Storm.
the bot lane, though.
All right, now can they get there in time? More shields by Yasui, and Shrimp almost dies. And here comes Mash. He gets one. The ulti should get two. He does it. 2 more kills picked up, and Coast making the plays.
Immediately collapsed when they knew that fight was coming. Hard, he got spotted by a ward, but he still went for the play. They're trying to pick on Pekin Wolf. They've identified him as one of the people on this team that is most exploitable, but everybody else is just going to show up to this lane. Shrimp is countering hard this game.
The fact that Shrimp was
walk towards him.
Great dodge. Great dodge right there by Pekin Wolf. I don't think he would have died anyway. There's no backup, but still feels really good to get away from those hooks. Mid lane under fire, not killed off, but Coast getting pretty far ahead.
It's all off that teamwork, too. You talk about the shot calling. Mash is the shot caller of this squad, and he's always the one who's calling those risky barons. The one who's calling, oh, let's group up, let's get to this middle. Looks like Shrimp is also having a big part in these plays as well.
Top lane's still equal, though. This matchup, as far as it's concerned, is not really going that heavily in Chris's favor. He's got pressure on the turret. He's wave clearing pretty damn well.
It's got to be frustrating for both these guys. They like to make those teleport plays or split push, and they're not being able to do either of those.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, they're splitting against each other. They get to lane really hard.
They're splitting against each other.
It's like
Woo!
every solo queue game ever. In top lane, you just fight back and forth, and then, like, your team does everything else, and you're like, did we win? I don't know. Is my mid laner 5-0?
Those are
yes?
my Maokai games.
Yep. Just play big dumb tree. You're good to go. Chris, again, trying to make plays solo, though. Has ulti. Oh, he's going for it. This is a pretty big risk for us. Dodges the stun. Still doing some damage. Ulti for a W cooldown. It's a reasonably short cooldown for Chris. Shoving in.
He used his ghost, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's a pretty important cooldown. Shrimp on his way over did not get revealed by a ward, but there is a defensive pink.
They know there's kill potential on the solo.
Right,
He
so
gets
Hard's
hit by
right here.
Phoenix, yeah.
You can't go for this one.
Shrimp is going to actually come through the lane. He's going to walk all the way around through the lane, through where the minions are.
Oh, wow.
So if he backs up, he's actually just going to run into Shrimp and die.
But they don't know if Hard's here or not. There we go. Goodbye. Man, Shrimp is good at this game. Shrimp is good at this game. You know, if you didn't know. That was so sick. I actually didn't see that play coming. That was really, really intelligent. Going around what you expect to be a pink ward and a Gragas. That was just really smart. All right, jumps on by Hard. Shockwave's available, hits him up. Shrimp taking some damage. Beautiful ulti by Hard. The shield comes across. Ignite is on. It gets him. Yasui makes it happen. And now the chase for Pekin Wolf. Chaos Storm is on. I don't think he's going to die for this one. Another shield comes out.
Does he have the range? Oh.
Does he have E? Oh!
Just
Could
barely.
aimed it better, but a good dodge all said and done by Yasui.
Oh, Shrimp was just waiting for the backup there. Got caught out and then was basically immobilized for 2.5 seconds between all of the CC against the wall.
Really well executed by C9T there. All right, but it's still a 2.7 thousand gold lead. Coast are getting farther ahead on this one. The mid lane matchup +7, the top lane matchup +12. Mid lane outer also gone. Top lane outer already picked up by Chris thanks to Nar's earlier death here. So Coast ballooning this lead now, and it's going to be in time for Dragon 2. Black Cleaver, Digitab here done. Chris has teleport. It's going to be another objective almost definitely.
Second upgrade for Pekin Wolf as well as a Needless, and Mash is very close to his Trinity Force. Very close to it.
He's got the money to complete right now, plus Sort Shoes actually.
Back now, get it, run to Dragon.
I mean, he'll be 10, 15 seconds late to Dragon itself, but C9T, I think, are not going to rush this down in time. I think they should realize that Corky's recalling for this one. They have the timer. It's 5.14. This actually, yeah, this could have been a Dragon Rush right there.
Nope,
for C9T.
Corky stopped backing.
Okay. And Lod chose to stay in the lane anyway.
Yeah, because this turtle will go down to Tristana.
I mean, it's going to kind of go down regardless. He's one attack away, and now he won't have Triforce for the Dragon fight, but choosing to stay around.
Shrimp's here now.
This is the last wave they get to gank this, because this turret goes down this wave.
Shrimp is here now, and Hard is coming down the river.
Right.
There's be a clash here.
Olaf's recalling for a TP play. He might even buy Home Guard. Oh. But there's no aggressive wards. Hard gets chased out, red buff on, the slows come through.
Oh, man.
Home Guard is on Triss. He does not have Ghost. There's a ward right down there under the scoreboard. If Triss pushes up, she dies to Olaf. And it's going to be the safe walk out of base for Chris. Dragon should not be contestable.
Yeah, you chunked Hard to half HP. You can pick up the Dragon right now pretty freely.
God, there's still no Cinder Hulk on Hard, by the way. Of course, he went for Sightstone,
Sightstone,
but he's so far behind in gold. It is a 1,500 gold lead for Shrimp. half the gold lead is on the jungle right now. Of course, he's got kills. That's his prerogative for ganking so damn well.
100% kill participation. That's the thing about Shrimp that I don't get. As a jungler myself, I can't stay up and farm the way Shrimp does, counter jungle, and have kills and kill participation at the same time. He's ending up in every lane, and while he's there, he's taking the camps. You saw before when he went for the invade, he's like, oh, I'm going to bully him out of the jungle, take his wolves, take my own laner's blue buff.
Yep.
Great farming there.
Wow, that was red buff. That was actually a misplay by Pekin Wolf. That's not even on him.
That's a misplay by Pekin Wolf?
Yeah.
No. You stop hitting at like 500 or something.
I mean, but he bursted it down. Like, Pekin Wolf hit a Q and then did an auto attack. He put it within red buff range.
It's why you stop and you start queuing it down.
Right, you make your mid laner take even longer to clear it so that he can lose minions in mid. You're just finding ways to blame the jungler when it's not his fault. What's with you blaming the jungler? Aren't you a jungler?
If the jungler is... Yeah, because it's our fault.
Oh, right.
It's our fault when our red buff kills the buff. You should stop earlier if you're handing it off.
This guy's like 250 AP. Oh, mashed in a bad spot, though. Good flash, just barely gets away from the play. Sheep takes a lot of pain, but has to respect Lod.
They kept going after Sheep, and Lod just gets free reign in this lane now. They're going to have to back, possibly give up this turret off that hook.
Yeah,
he'll be able to buy Trinity Force.
A single auto attack from dying. A lot of money right now on Mash.
They're going to stay, though.
Turret's dead.
They could always call Shrimp down. And it looks like they're going to go for the Pekin Wolf Realm.
Oh, right, the Janna shield. They just go after him and say, don't you dare.
Is he going to blow up still? Nope.
All right, wow. Closer than I thought. Yusui gets blue buff safely, but Dragon's already off the field, so he's not going to have much to do. Mid lane outer is, I believe, still standing. No, mid lane outer is the one that's dead. It's bot laner that hasn't died yet, because that lane's been pressured by Tristana. So, yeah, Yusui playing now on the back foot again. Pekin Wolf, for the second game in a row, has knocked down Yusui's turret first. Like, CSD at 10 is definitely a stat to look at, but killing your opponent's turret, I think, is a really sure sign of lane dominance. Like, of course, it's like things like, oh, he played TF and stuff, but, like, you kill the guy's turret, you did your job.
I won lane. That's when people say I won lane, is when you get the turret first.
I think that's one of the better ways.
I'll die 3 times top lane, but then our jungler comes up and helps me kill the turret. And I'm like, I won lane, guys! I did it!
That's your opinion of how that works.
Yeah, but as a jungler, you don't have a lane to win. You just win every lane.
I think that's exactly what Shrimp did this game.
Yes.
I think Shrimp won every single lane.
That's exactly what he did.
He's got a completed Rileys compared to Sightstone. That is a 2,200 gold difference just an inventory value. Let alone the actual money, which is 1,900.
Very close.
Yeah. Sork Shoe's part of Riley's done. Pekin Wolf wants the exact same build again.
Man, he doesn't even go for wards. Shrimp buys wards on his first bag.
And a blue trinket.
He's actually right behind the team. He's in the middle of the lane. He's in the lane.
Oh, Lod.
As soon as they get the turret.
All right, there's a TP, and they want this one. By the way, surprise, Evelyn's here. Lod's dead. Shrimp's in a bad spot as well. Shrimp takes some damage, but you know what? He's going to kill off Sheep. Chris is already here. He's slowing down hard. Where exactly is Lod's going to go? To the grave. He's going down. Chris stays alive somehow. The Janna ulti going to keep him alive through the Ignite. Mash gets the 4th kill of the fight. Yasui's now getting chased off by Pekin Wolf.
And this is the teamfight prowess of Coast that we've been seeing all Challenger split long. That's why they look so dominant. And that's why someone like Shrimp and Conquan, they both have over 50 assists over the next highest person with assists. They are just absolute monsters at teamfighting. They teamfight all the time. And they're always involved. Really good shockwave, but it's not even close to enough when you're at this part of the fight. That was set up.
Lives here. They even triggered Hyper. Like, it just doesn't matter.
That was set up from the get-go. Shrimp was sitting in the middle of the lane. He is abusing that passive from Evelyn.
All right, well, Chris, on towards his next item, has the Giant's Belt turned into Randuin's, but also the Longsword, I guess, to turn into a Hex Drinker, so mix of stats for him.
Also, yesterday we saw the W max second on Evelyn. That's not how Shrimp rolls. Shrimp goes for that E. He goes for the damage.
I mean, they are still both building AP, but yeah.
It's my kind of Evelyn player.
Style. I think it's actually probably better to max E. I'm actually a little bit surprised Moon went for that. Did win the game, though. I can't really complain too badly. Yeah. But Shrimp also not going Merlinomicon. Is going Merc Treads, though. Like, he is still kind of building a semi-tanky build, right? 400 health off Riley's, Merc Treads there to keep himself alive. Like, you can see he's kind of hybriding it a little bit. It's like the equivalent of Cinderhulk Magic Pen Elise.
Yeah.
You do both things.
The Magic Pen is good. It's just, it's always a strange place for her now. because E is physical damage.
Yeah. No, I think like Merchants are probably just appropriate on this champion. I think you always want to go for tank stats here.
The turret.
Chris
Jumped
out a whole bunch of pain coming through. Man, they just blow up Chris, and Shrimp's pretty freaking screwed here. He wants Sheep, can't
up so
get
much
him.
for this stuff.
A double kill picked up. Top lane's under fire. Outer turret may go down, but you're right. Mid and bot are both being pushed in right now. 2 kills and maybe a turret for what?
A 5-on-2, and you lose 2 turrets.
They go down in time. A turret is still worth about 2 kills in rough value, so this still may trade close to equal. And honestly, it feels like something that these guys kind of need. So yes, mid and bot tier 2 are down, but C19 are still pushing with a Tristana. They're going to answer 2 turrets for 2, still go up those 2 kills, and that's a good play. If you commit to still pushing, I think it's the exact right choice. I see so many teams recall
back.
Watch
out, though. Watch out for Peekin. Are they going to get more for this? Oh, what?
Peekin wanted to burst some guys out. He thought he'd catch him. But he didn't know he was warded off on that tri-brush.
Oh.
He didn't expect the ward, gives up a 3rd kill, and C19 just got back into this game. Dragon's up in 5 seconds, Baron's up right now, but they're sadly too low to pick that up, so Mash will have time to try to solo Dragon. It doesn't look like he's gonna get stopped.
Oh, he knew that bush was warded.
Oh yeah, hit a pink, hit a pink.
It was a pink ward.
Yeah, that was just an outright misplay.
Yeah,
then.
he just...
I think he expected Coast to, like, I don't know. It was a misplay,
back
honestly.
in the middle of the lane.
Yeah, I think he expected them to recall in the middle of the lane. But didn't happen. Dragon, though, does go to Coast, not answered in time by Cloud9 Tempest. They recalled, got their health bars back up, but we're back to a closer game, though. 3 kills picked up, unanswered. 2 turns for 2.
And Coast just have a lot going for them right now. They got those 2 tier 2s down. They can get their siege on. They have a lot of map to roam around and a lot of map that needs to be warded up. And Coast, or C19, they have a lot of map to ward up and a lot of their own jungle to ward up. But the thing is those wards aren't even that effective against Shrimp. He's walking to the middle of these lanes.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with Evelynn, is if she does it right, she can bypass wards, period. And that looks to be likely. Same build as last time around, going for the Randuin's Omen 3rd item. Looks solid so far. A quick QSS comes out of Mash, interestingly, even though he's already got a McHale's from Conquan there, but takes a quick dip in combat stats to go for something more defensive.
Make sure he doesn't get hooked.
Yeah. Looks like Chris is going for the...
They also got the McHale's early, too, for the hooks.
Right. That's what I just said. So you got QSS, even though McHale's is up.
You got both for it. Make sure it doesn't happen.
Chris going Mallet. That's interesting. And this is like the weird parts of Hexdrinker, but I doubt that.
The weird parts.
Gets the AD and like none of the MR. Like that's like the reason you buy that item.
Yeah, it could be Maw at the end of the day, but it's most likely. Wait, no. It's
half of.
There's a longsword in there, so
it's half of Mallet and a half of Maw.
Yeah.
I think literally.
I can't make up which one I want.
I mean, just health as a raw. No, it's
Whoa,
Tiamat.
What?
It's Giant Spelt Tiamat. We're all wrong.
Oh, man. He's looking to get in the backline and hit all of the backline at the same time. Oh, man, Chris. He wants all that AD.
I actually don't think Tiamat's correct here. I really don't.
Let it happen.
I mean, like, I like the item, and I like Olaf.
If he ever gets the Ravenous Hydra, though, he ends up getting so...
Yeah, you heal for 1,000,000 health, but, like, just buy a red elixir.
So much, and then that's enhanced by your Vicious Strikes.
Just buy a red elixir and buy real items.
And then you buy a red elixir on top of that. It's brilliant.
No. No.
Brilliant.
He's just ahead by a lot.
It's brilliant. Because he's ahead by a lot.
That doesn't make it brilliant. That's like Death Cap Renekton
Buy
status.
more damage. Hey, he makes use of these stats. Anyway,
it's attack damage, no crap.
Well, I mean, you said Death Cap.
Congratulations,
You said
Olaf.
Death Cap Renekton.
Yeah, it applies to his ultimate. This is the equivalent, Olaf players. Don't buy a Tiamat.
But it also enhances his true damage on his E.
Yeah, it's attack damage.
Yeah. That makes
buy
more
a
true
Rune King,
damage.
it's just better.
But it doesn't add to his true damage.
Yes, it does. It still gives attack damage.
But not the same.
It gives him movement speed. That's a huge thing.
You know what? He's going to fight solo right here. We're going to see what this does.
He's up a level. He's going to win this easily.
Tiamat. Look at that. He got the flash out of him.
Man, if he had Rune King, he would have won that fight.
Oh, my.
Instead of just, like, having him take a lantern out. I'm not wrong here.
That's how you end stuff. You're just, I'm not wrong.
No, he would have killed him with Rune King. I'm not even kidding.
Would he have, though?
Yeah.
Would he have?
Yes.
Would he have?
Are you going to ask the question 3 times?
But
I already
would
said
he
yes. Oh my god, please. Coast crushing all the faces in this game. 27 minutes in. Take it a bit slow in the mid game. They're pretty damn far from Dragon 5. I wouldn't expect that to be the real win condition here.
Yeah.
It feels like they're too far ahead for that.
But at the time that the other game ended at 36 minutes, they could have 5th Dragon at that same time.
That's true.
So they're on a very good path to have that. Also, Coast in their games average.
They play long games.
They average 3.9 dragons a game.
God.
They average 4 damn dragons a game. The next highest is 2.6.
Sorry, it's 3.9.
It's 3.9 versus 2.6 is the next highest in Challenger. They just play slow games where they play the objective game, but they also get very early dragons. They're actually, I believe, #1 in getting first blood and first dragon and first baron. So they're very objective focused, and a lot of that is shrimp.
Yeah, oh, God, yeah. Shrimp is pretty freaking ludicrous. So, on his way towards his next big item, sitting on a 6,000 gold lead here. Coast taking their time in the mid game here. Looking at the team's vision, honestly, C9T forced to play fairly defensively. They've got like a vertical line from Baron down to their red buff. Coast actually have a good number of deep wards spotting out base gates in blue and stuff like that, so not too bad, all things considered. Cloud9 Tempest still playing a split push game. Solo just holding up in that -10 spot. Really the same score that Chris had last time around. Cannot steal that one away. Chris still farming, and farming. Tiamat into Randuins. So, yeah, Randuins makes sense. I'm just still surprised by Tiamat.
I'm surprised by it, too, and I actually don't back it, all things considered.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Now you're on my side after you watched the fight live.
I really don't like it. It's just a silly build. It's one of those things that you build on a jungle where you're like, I'm Jarvan, I'm ahead. Let's build a Tiamat.
You should have bought a Yomis. Just a better version of Tiamat on Jarvan.
Is it, though?
Yeah.
Is it,
oh, my
though?
God. Can you not? Can you not right now?
Can I not?
I'm just going to hold your cough button down and we're going to do a solo cast.
We're going to do a solo cast.
Yeah, me and my ego and my sense of skill.
Yeah, I knew your ego was big enough to be a solo cast next to you.
Of course it is.
Anyway, high kill participation for Shrimp in this game, but he's also got a lot of deaths because he's putting himself at risk when he jumps in there. Right now, Baron on the table. Great ward control from Toast across the river. They are just, this is showing how objective focused they are. Dragon, warded up. Baron, warded up. All the pathways around them. And now Chris, I talked about how he likes to split push. He's able to split push against Solo now. This was big win condition for them.
He's not really making progress against Solo, though, because he can't pressure anymore. So he did get bot lane tier 2. Actually, no, Corky got that one. So he's really not getting any turret pressure. He's keeping the lane pushed up to allow him to roam around.
Hey, Tiamat helps him do that.
God, I'm tilted so hard right now. Hard. Also pushed out of the pit. He'd have to... Yeah, not even a chance. Great smite right there. Dragon #4 picked up, and Coast just may play for that win condition after all. Mid lane outer, though, pushed out by Lod. Smart rotations by C9T. This shield by Conquest buys enough time. This is not going to go down. And Shrimp wants it. Dodges the hook, and Sheep takes 1,000,000 damage and a half. Shrimp pushed around, though. He's got to be
right into a wall.
Does get out safely. The W came back up in time to keep himself alive here. Solo Meganar popped. Mid lane outer once again under fire. Janna just not going to do enough. I think it's dead anyway. Boop. And here we go. All right, turret #4 picked up. C9T off the reaction to Dragon. Pressure mid lane enough to get a bit back in. Interesting. Peek & Wolf went Lichbane, second major item here on.
He's going for those boops.
I mean, he's going for the Q auto. It's going to do a lot of damage.
Q auto
forces honest.
Destroy people.
Forces a lot of honesty. So
that extra AP ratio on his auto is huge.
It's pretty strong.
It's already ridiculous by itself, but now with that on top of it, if anybody actually does end up in range of him,
or if he ends up in range of them.
Oh my God, isn't that the same thing?
No, haven't you like seen Watchmen? I'm not stuck in here with you. You're stuck in here with me, and then he beats up some people. This is Peek & Wolf. He's basically, I think it's Rorschach.
Yeah,
it's
Rorschach.
Peek & Wolf is the Rorschach in this game. He's got a stupid mask.
Yeah, it's a Rorschach test.
Yeah. What do you see when you see Peek & Wolf?
A victor. Actually, I see a Pekingese because his dog.
No, you don't.
That's the Pekingese.
No,
it's named after. I always thought it was Peck & Wolf.
See that.
Oh, I was Peck & Wolf, and now it's Pekingese.
You're dumb.
What?
You thought it was Peck & Wolf because you're dumb.
I thought it was Peck & Wolf because that's how it looks phonetically, but it's Peek & Wolf because it's named after a Pekingese dog.
Yeah. No, we got that.
Which apparently looks really silly. It's just a very fluffy ball of
Well,
Dog.
split push is working. Chris actually on the side of the map with Baron. They're letting bottom lane stay open, and he knocks that one down. So all 6 turrets outside the base have been picked up here. Coast doing a good job of taking the moderately difficult objectives down. They're not risking Baron here. They're playing safely on this one. But 7,000 gold lead. It is eking up slowly over time. They lost some of their deep wards, though. Bot lane really not covered whatsoever. But Chris just allowed to get all this farm. 304 CS. He's actually getting more than the AD carry. This is a rare sight when the top laner is out farming the AD carry in the mid to late game. But he's getting a ton of money here. Spectre's Cowl already done. Randuin's own already done.
Scuttle's going to tip them off that C9T are doing the Baron.
He's going to force the reply there. Here's the
TP's going.
This is the play.
Behind them.
C9T get TP advantage, but how's this fight going to go? Chris wants in. Here's
Whoa.
the battle. Shrimp in as well. Now Helga's disengage. A great Gnarlty solo gets out, and there's going to be the first kill picked up. Shockwave disengages Chris, and Gnar goes down. It's already 2 for 0. Into the backline they go. 3 kills, 4 kills picked up. Laud, the last man
The
alive.
clean ace. Oh!
Firefighter Tristana running for her life, but this means anything that Coast wants
They
is
still want
on
it. They
the
want
table.
this. Woo!
Flash ulti, Shrimp on the chase. Crits could kill him. He's got to be a bit careful. They get the ace, and now a bit later they go for Baron Nashor. They don't go for the base just yet. They're running for the neutral objective to just make sure this is off the map. There's no comeback chance for C9T. Clean ace and the Baron.
It's one of the reasons they play slow games. They go for every little kill, squeeze as much out possibly as they can from that fight. The clean ace, so much to use there. And C9T just looked like they were trying to pull a desperation move. As soon as this TP came through, Chris with that extra movement speed runs right into them, and then the slows come out. Solo has an ultimate that only hits Shrimp, and Shrimp takes a lot of damage, but he still manages to get out. He gets the McHale's just for the heal, and then they're at that point, Pekin Wolf is now in the fight. He's getting all of that damage from the Lich Bane off, and Chris is just in the back line making it so they have to focus him, but everybody was really on Shrimp at that time, so he just got free reign.
Yep, worked out beautifully. There's so many damage threats anyway. Everyone except Janet can do considerable damage in this game. In fact, every single one of those guys on...
Oh, speaking of damage.
Well, yeah, she...
Oh! That was the Q auto Lich Bane right there. That was so good.
Everyone not named Conquan has at least 13,000 gold. Okay, Shrimp's at like 12.8, but like, they're freaking rich here. Everybody's got a ton of money.
4,000, over 4,000, 4.6 thousand gold lead for Shrimp.
Yeah.
Over hard.
He's doing real good.
Nobody else even comes close to that type of gold lead. Big gold lead is just in the jungle.
Yeah, Coast incredibly far ahead now. Shrimp able to get so darned much money and put to good work.
I don't know how he does it. I've watched him so much. I've stalked this guy and spectated his solo queue games. I don't know how he does it.
He's just really good at League of Legends, guys. I really do want to see how Shrimp handles...
This is how he does it. Give me the farm! He's doing it!
I mean, he has half the CS in the other lane. He still does it without that.
But he's twice his opponent's CS.
Well, yeah, he's a pretty much superior player. Objectively, Shrimp is a superior player to Hard. It's not even a diss on Hard. Shrimp's really good at this game.
Yeah, 5th Dragon on the field right now. See Coast with their 4th incarnation.
This would be their 3rd trip into the LCS, I believe. They've been demoted twice so far. This will be their 3rd trip back in if you count the 2013 qualification.
Well, they're looking to get back into the LCS, and they're definitely making a statement. All throughout Challenger, they've been going through, and it's just been, honestly, a pretty easy ride for them. They always look so good for Challenger, and if they can make it through and get that first spot and get auto-qualified for the LCS.
C9T getting what they can off the top side, but the recall is going to come in so quickly. There's Dragon 5 picked up on every single member. Baron is going to coincide with this one.
True
when
damage
does Burst want to go in? If the Q lands, he does like 500 damage to whomever he hits. Pekin Wolf on the side. Goodbye, Solo. 3/4 of the tank's health is gone. And there he is. Solo kill for Pekin Wolf against the tank in the top lane.
He didn't even have to ulti.
He was Q twice and E once.
That's the Lich Bane right there.
Yeah.
And the huge advantage that he has.
And Baron and Dragon 5 and the Void
and
Staff.
And the lack of defensive magic resist.
Yeah, it's pretty rough here. Fully upgraded Enchant as well for the man. And here we go down the mid lane. Baron will time out and actually already has, but Dragon 5 means they do a whole bunch of damage here. 30% bonus damage to turrets. Chunk. No burn just yet. They gotta wait for the new wave. Olaf split push top side. And there's no Gnar up for 12 seconds here. Coast likely to win, but C9T could go for that one miracle wombo combo, right? The flash play into the Gnar ulti, into the shockwave. Just maybe the chance of a comeback can exist, but it's going to be so difficult. Coast knocking on the front door, making slow and steady progress. Olaf basically just demolishes by himself. There's the knockback. They get onto Mash. There's the Kales and the QSS used. Gets out. Top lane turret's already dead. Solo, not a good spot, but Chris has to be a bit careful. He's getting slowed down.
He has Ghost and ulti. He can turn this.
Matters, of course, a lot. There's the push on in. Solo will not get a lantern. They're on towards the inhibitor. They won't push for it just yet. Mid lane has another wave yet again.
They're going to get this mid turret. Nobody's responded to this just yet. Mash does so much damage.
Doesn't stay for the last hit, though. So afraid of a play. The Kales and QSS were both down.
Exactly. He doesn't have both those items. He has to back up. And instead, they just burn some time off this 5th dragon. They lose one turret. They don't lose their inhib on C9T side just yet. And now they go back to cleaning up waves. There's still room to grow, though. It's only 38 minutes in.
Sure, no one's hit max items just yet here, but you can see sort of by the way they're playing how much this game means to Coast. And every solo queue game ever, you would have stayed for that last hit on the turret. But Ghost say, no mistakes. We're up by so much. Just don't make anything really stupid, and we are guaranteed to win here. They've got plenty of room to work with. I think it's okay to play this passive, but they have to make sure they actually pressure turrets down. I need to see an inhibitor die for Dragon 5, where it feels like a bit of a wasted opportunity. They've got 45 seconds left of this Dragon buff. One last recall. I think they need to knock something down. Because every extra minute you stay on the game, there's always a chance that Shockwave of the hook lands. And the peace of mind of closing the game out, I think, is a big deal.
And then the gold becomes worth less and less when you do hit those 6 item points, but we're still not there yet. So Coast's advantage is still really big right now.
It is a very low slope, sort of hill down. It'll take a long time, but over time, that starts to mean less and less. It's just something that should nag at you just a little bit here. I think Coast's still in a very good spot, of course.
Oh, yeah. They'll be able to keep getting 5th dragons. Pretty much no problem here for a good while, barring one of those team fights happening.
As soon as one drag goes over to C9T, though, it's about 3,000 gold worth of stats. That would really elevate this team back in, so Coast really cannot afford mistakes.
Still push the bottom.
Yeah, Olaf fighting against a no turret inhibitor. Lod getting a lot of farm. He's not quite at 4 items yet. I'm actually surprised that he went BT over Ruin King. I think he could really use the added DPS of a Ruin King, and it also comes online sooner. But he's going for the more conventional build, a bit more defensive here.
You also have a problem with Ravenous Hydra, Elixir of Wrath, but
it's a lot of healing, but he doesn't have the sticking power. There's no Sivir. There is a Talisman of Ascension, but it's only 2 seconds, 3 seconds of speed.
He's got Ghost.
There we go. Mid lane does go down. Good rotation. Coast realizes there's no one defending. Down it goes.
Looking for the 3 naked inhibitor plays. Baron up in 35 seconds.
No wards. If Coast wins the fight, the game ends.
Yep. No wards.
Yeah.
At all. Past the river for, in the river for pretty much either team. There's just one for Coast. They have absolute control.
Yeah, but C9T have nothing but defensive wards here.
Yeah, they see themselves slowly getting pushed in on.
Yep. All right, there's the pressure in towards the inhibitor. Lich Bane helps, Trinity Force helps, down to half HP. Olaf still splitting top side, but he has to be respectful of Gnar.
He is a gentleman.
He's not making a lot of progress in this top side here. Chris not getting a lot done. Mid inhibitor, though, close to dead. There's the push, and they don't quite get shrimped the way they wanted, though. And that is Gragas ulti down. Peek and Wolf, again, gotta respect, though, a body slam flash, even though Flash is down right now. One more hit will knock down the inhibitor. Mash, one hit away, gets it. Mid inhibitor down, Crystal, and making progress. Mega Gnar's up, there's the hook landing. Forced to ulti away from that one. That is a spell on cooldown. Baron is alive. Coast's gonna walk right at this Baron. They should be safe to do so, but they are missing Olaf ult for this battle.
30 seconds on that Olaf.
They're gonna bait it.
Coming up.
Blue trinket used. C19 know to be safer than this. Mash cannot kill off the ward. Hard is so afraid of putting a ward over the wall, but
they're gonna go for it.
There's the attempt, but these guys are in range. A 5-on-5 in front of Baron Pit. This is the battle that might end the game. Sheep getting chunked out a little bit.
It's going down so fast. 2,000.
Buying some time. No steal gonna happen. There's a hook onto Conquan. They're gonna try to blow up Janna. She will not die.
There she goes.
But the fight continues. Shrimp in the front line. A lot of damage. Hard goes down. 3-man shockwave. A lot of damage from Yasui, but Shrimp actually forced away. Lot gets the kill. A double for the AD carry, and he goes for Peek and Wolf. Gets a lot of damage, but will not quite get enough. A shutdown on the side. Chris trying to carry this fight. It's a 3 for 3. The hook is gonna hit, and Chris can't get out. This is what I'm talking about, where fights can always go crazy. A bunch more kills. Holy crap, are you kidding? And Chris's life's taken, but it's a 4 for 4, but it gives breathing room for Cloud9 Tempest. Dragon's on the field. Lod should run to Dragon right now. Get that 3,000 gold for your team. Hope he can battle Peek and Wolf. Peek and Wolf's gonna go for the solo here.
That is so intense. Yeah, Peek and Wolf will be able to pick this up. I don't know how quickly, though. There's so many minions that need to be cleared.
Looks like Lod can't stop this. Okay,
nope.
It will be Dragon 5 picked up, and only part of the team I think will be alive. Chris will not have the Dragon buff. Mash might not even have it either. Pekin may just play a safe game and say we'll get Dragon 5 a bit later.
He's going to shove waves out because they can't contest the Dragon because the minions in the base. Good hook onto Conquan. Immediately just puts him in kill zone. They know that they can get him here. Solo only gets one person with that Gnar ultimate. It could have been better, but this shockwave was what really made it. It delayed them. It chunked out everybody. They were able to pick up Shrimp here with Lod. Sui has to run for his life, but he still picks up Mash off the shield to save him for that extra second. Peek and Wolf barely makes it out of this too. But then Chris, look how much health he's getting back from this. He's getting about 280 a swing.
Yep, and the W times out.
Or 230.
Yeah.
Because when
it
you're
scales based on how low you are.
Exactly. The Vicious Strikes, Lifesteal.
Yep.
Or amplification of healing effects, I believe is what it is.
Yep. I think it's slightly misplayed. You should have auto Tiamat active the minion wave and would have gotten about 700 health back and actually would have won the 1-on-2. I've actually played a lot of Tiamat Olaf. This is why I know it's not that good. It's very feast or famine. But actually could have won me 2 by life the minion wave and going to full health.
We will continue splitting hairs.
I mean, it's really just an amazing game by Coast, all things considered. That was a nice fight by C9T, though. They got themselves in a position where, hey, you know what? Baron went over, but it was a 4 for 4. Lod got a bunch of gold. Lod's going, I love that he's doing this, going for a second crit item here, going for likely second Phantom Dancer.
They didn't even get the Dragon either, so C9T picked up the Dragon.
See, that's big too.
They got those combat stats for themselves, and now people are hitting 6 items on Coast's side.
That's
so they're slowly catching up to them, and minion waves are constantly flooding into their base, so they're picking up CS all the time.
And experience, keep in mind. Shrimp's been 18 for a while, but Hard's still got levels to gain, right? Sheep's still got levels to gain. And that's important here. Coast, 4v4 on the bot side. They are so afraid of the poke here. They've got Baron buff on one guy, and Chris will knock down top, though. He's far enough ahead that that's going to work out. So double inhibitor death is enough for Coast to
Shrimp
work
looking
with.
for the flank, though. Shrimp is hanging out in the middle inhibitor because if if Solo starts going in onto Chris, he can back him up.
Yep.
If a fight breaks out bottom, back him up. So he's in the position where he's flexible. Which side does he want to go to? And this is pretty much the optimal place to be as an Evelyn.
All right, one last recall. Chris does have home guard TP. He's going to do it for the flank itself. There are a couple of wards. He's going to TP into the mid lane here. He's going to look for the TP flank right now. In he comes. They're going to look for this bottom turret, I believe. No, he's just kind of clearing waves. I take it back. Not much more done than that, but it does make the rest of C9 move.
Trying to look
bottom
for that turret.
Still losing health. The waves are crashing basically onto the Nexus right now. They're going to start losing Nexus turrets without people peeling off of this one. And with Janna's shield, Mash can knock this down. This turret's going to die.
Chris is walking up to it. He's going to hit it a couple times. It's going to go down. Solo can't stop him.
All right, top lane. Nexus turret is gone. Bottom lane inhibitor turret, one auto attack away from gone. Coast are getting this game to end in the near future unless they take a catastrophic misstep. Mash crits for 1,100 damage without the Triforce proc in mind. Did buy Infinity Edge. I'm so glad he's one of the Corkers who know to buy this item on a final build here, pushing in towards the final inhibitor that C9T has, the mid respawn, but it'll go down so fast. No chance of defense here. And Solo losing a lot of health. He's far from Mega Gnar. Bottom lane and hip down to below half. Big chunks coming down. All inhibitors dead. Coast are in the absolute driver's seat here. There's almost nothing that Cloud9 Tempest can do. Solo losing more health.
They're going to go straight for this. They're just going to win the game by sheer force.
Well, the bin is getting cleared back and forth. Solo wants it. He gets the Gnar ulti, but separated by the Janna. Shakuk only gets Shrimp. Hard can't kill him. And Yasui forces Zhonya's Chris still disrupting the front lines. Running around, trying to land some slows. Pico forced to run, but he stays alive. That's already going to be a couple of kills picked up. The distance is not quite enough. Lod picks up one, but gets jumped on. Lichbane kills him off. That's the team fight win. It's a 3-for-1. The next going down. The 2-0 for Coast is going to happen. Into the Challenger Finals you go. Coast versus Renegades. Best of 5. Winner joins the LCS.
Coaster 1 BO5, possibly 2 away from being back in the LCS with a revamped squad. Shrimp brought on this roster. You see the work that he does every single game. I can't think of a game where he's actually been down in CS as a jungler and he's not had more gold than his opponent. He's so active and he just brings the team together. And right now, this squad, even with Kongquan on it, backing up MASH, just right now in Challenger, they look like they're going to be the #1 team, especially since the performance that we saw from Renegades yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Coast look wonderful. They're an absolutely great team. It's going to be fun to watch them next week on the LCS stage versus Renegades. That'll be a great matchup to watch. But, you know, let's talk about the present a little bit more, because right now we've got that Team Coast mid laner, Pekin Wolf, here with us to give us an interview. Man, congratulations on the win, Pekin Wolf.
Thank you.
So talk to me about your thoughts coming into the matchup. We actually talked to Crumbs yesterday, and he said this was going to be an incredibly close match between you two. Game 1 looked like it, but Game 2 was all you guys. What did you think about the series?
I think that overall we just are a more consistent team, and inside any of the games that we've played, we've always been able to get huge advantages. And the one time that C9T did beat us, we should have won because we had a pretty big gold advantage, and we just played it really bad. Still, I think that we need to be able to close out games faster, but I think we have the general idea of just how to win games.
So I see you're in the gaming house now. Did you just move in recently?
I moved in like 2 weeks ago, or pretty much right after the last match before this one.
Have you ever been in a gaming house before?
No.
Okay, so how is this for you? How does it feel being in a gaming house for the first time, surrounded by your teammates?
It's pretty fun. There's a lot more fast food and just eating out, that's for sure.
All right, but the practice regimen seems to work out for you guys. I actually want to talk to you about your practice a little bit, because you seem to be the best team in Challenger. How much do you get to scrim some of the LCS teams?
I would say it's like 25%. Like 25% of our games are against LCS teams.
All right, so from what you've seen, let's say your match against Renegades doesn't go that hot, and you end up having to play the promo tournament. From your experience playing LCS teams, you feel good about that series, let alone the finals?
Yeah, I really doubt we're going to lose to them, but if that does happen, then I guess so.
All right, so just feeling confident the entire way through then. Then talk to me actually then about the Renegades matchup specifically. You hit them in the finals, BO5. You won 2-1 during this series so far. You think this one's going to go for you guys?
I really am confident that we're going to win. I think that individually, all of the players on Team Coast are better, and I think I'm the closest one to being even matchup for mid. I think everybody else on the team just out pressures than and just is better players than me.
So
I'm pretty much the weakest link in my opinion, versus Alexich, in my opinion.
All right.
Okay. So
that's what I mean.
You're very confident that you're going to win that matchup. So let's just look even further ahead. If you guys were in the LCS, how would you do right now?
I think we would be in the middle.
Almost everyone says the middle.
Everybody says the middle. Don't be too ambitious, but don't understand.
So we'll make playoffs and lose in quarterfinals. That's the ambitions right now for Team Coast. I mean, we'll see. Man, thank you very much for joining us. Congrats on the win, and good luck next week.
We'll see you in person.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right, guys. So the semifinals are done. The bracket is filled out. We don't know who's going to win the finals and whatnot, but we know where everyone is headed. Team Coast are in the finals to face Renegades live on the LCS stage in LA on August 12th. Now, with that loss, Cloud9 Tempest will be facing off against Team Imagine on August 11th.
And the winner of the finals will replace Team Dragon Knights in the NALCS next spring. But second and third place will still compete for LCS spots in the promotion tournament against Team 8 and Enemy Esports on September 5th and 6th.
So the playoff action continues this weekend as the European LCS and North American LCS play back-to-back quarterfinal matches on Saturday. Up first, H2K against Giants Gaming in a best-of-5 series, followed by Team Impulse against Team Dignitas. That all gets started at 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 5 p.m. Central European Summer Time. Now, that's the schedule leading up to it, but that's all for us tonight. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you this weekend.
See you guys.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
Au revoir. Arrivederci.
Have a
And the
good
man.
one.
No,
Ass
Ass
available, hits him up. Shrimp taking some damage. Beautiful ulti by Hard. The shield comes across. Ignite is on and gets him. Surprise, Evelyn's here. Lon's dead. Shrimp's in a bad spot as well. Shrimp takes some damage, but you know what? He's going to kill off Sheep. Disengages Chris, and Nara goes down. It's already 2 for 0. Into the backline they go. 3 kills, 4 kills picked up. Lod, the last man
The
alive.
clean ace?
That's already going to be a couple of kills picked up. The disengage
Lod,
not
Lod,
quite enough.
Lod.
Lod picks up 1, but gets jumped on. Lichbane kills him off.